What's good, Dirty Fanatic United people? We are back with another banger.
Let's get it.
Hey.
You're watching Dirty Fanatics United, a Falcon podcast.
What is good, people? Dirty Fanatics United is back in the building with another banger. Episode number 8 on the shelf, coming at you live. My boy Philip. Philip, how you doing, brother?
Doing terrific, baby.
You heard the man. Terrific. What makes it so terrific? What's going on, brother?
If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but we only it's five Sundays away from football, baby.
We're close.
We're close. It's a blessed day, you know. It's just having a good time.
We are counting the days away on our fingers. Football is right around the corner, and if you love football like we do, man, it's a great feeling to know football's right around the corner. To watch some Falcon football, bring more content to you guys, because once the Falcons get rolling, we're gonna get rolling with you. So head to the chat real quick. Kiki, the first one in the chat, she said, "Hey fam, rise up, Miss Kiki. Always showing love to us over here." Shout out to Kiki. Philip, man, I seen something that came across my phone this morning, I believe it was, and it made me kind of happy just because of the type of fan I was of this particular person. But Matty Ice has dinner with Arthur Blank, and from what Matty Ice says, everything is doing good. Everything is great on that end. Your thoughts on that, Philip? What does that mean for the particular future as in Ring of Honor, maybe a future QB coach? What your thoughts on that? Just tell me what you think about Matty Ice having dinner with Arthur Blank, man.
All right, for starters, hey, we already knew he didn't leave on no bad terms, so it's still to see them two getting along great. I could see with him, with this dinner, could be a possible Ring of Honor like Roddy White in the back, or could be like a jersey retirement, or certain things like that. Which I'm kind of high, which I was high on Matty. That was our boy. Here that was our boy. But it's good to see he's still in contact with Arthur Blank. So maybe that could be leading into something good.
Right. We also got to remember Matty Ice does a lot of charity events in Atlanta. He's still a very Atlanta-based guy. Matty Ice is a straight business, and we show a lot of love over here to Matty Ice. A lot of people like to hate on the greatest quarterback to play in the Atlanta Falcon jersey, but that's for a whole nother different type of show. Philip, a lot going on today on this particular show. We got a special guest coming in today. Our boy Alberto from 95 North Talk Show will be here with us shortly, I believe, in about 5 to 8 minutes or so. Alberto will be in the house, but just to let y'all know how my weekend's been. I've had a pretty good weekend. I got off work Friday, been chilling at the house. Really dove in on some notes about some of our rookie picks this offseason, and I'm really excited to let y'all know what we have for y'all today. We got a lot going on in this particular episode. Just a quick rundown on what we'll be talking about today. From the top, we'll be talking about a little bit about Matt Bergeron, maybe particular starting left guard, expectations for Arnold Ebiketie in year 2. Who is this team's sleeper this year? What is the ceiling for this team? Are we a Super Bowl team, or are we just a playoff contender? Or is this just another chance to get above 500 this year? A couple of giveaway details. We'll drop that here. If you're here in the chat or you're here live, drop a 1 in the chat. If you want to be entered, next week, Sunday, will be the last day to enter the raffle. So make sure you do that. We'll head here to the chat real quick before we head on to our next subject. It's going to wait on our special guest. Stormy Sapp in the chat. She said, "Happy Sunday. Rise up. Rise up." Out of your Falcon mind. Shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind in the chat. They said, "What's cracking, boys? Another fine day to talk some Falcon football." I'm sure Arthur paid for that dinner. Facts.
Oh, for
Facts.
sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure.
Kiki said, "Can't wait to see Clark Phillips, Bijan, and Zach Harrison." Man, Zach Harrison, that's a name that really sticks out to me. Clark Phillips as well. I've done a breakdown on Clark Phillips and Zach Harrison on my YouTube page. If you haven't got the chance, check that out. Just some stats and some sleeper stuff that I believe. Clark Phillips is a name by itself that was a sleeper in college just because he was his size. Definitely reminds me of like a Brett Griner, somebody, a smaller cornerback that can go high and play man to man, but he's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. It's already a deep class in cornerback, so yeah, a lot of battling going on there, a lot of cutting going on there. But Philip, man, just real quick before our special guest gets here, we'll throw up one topic real quick. Let me get this coming off the screen. Sleeper for this year's team, Philip. Who do you think is a sleeper for this year's team? Who's your player on your shelf that you've been thinking about that could be a dog for this Falcons team? You know, last year I would say our sleeper person was Caleb Huntley. Caleb Huntley came in last year, carried a lot of weight on his shoulders to fill that void with Damian Williams going down early in the season. So just a guy like that. Phil, actually hold that answer. I got a special guest pulled up on us chat. We're gonna go ahead and bring him on in. Bring him on in here. 95 North Talk Show, the man himself, Alberto. What's good, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Philip, Chase, what's up? What's going on?
Another day to talk some Falcon football, man. We are really appreciative for you to come by and drop some knowledge on these Falcon fans for us.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
We were just talking on a subject here about this year's sleepers. Who do we think is going to be an impact for this team? Somebody that's been under the light that hasn't really got much love this offseason. Philip, you go ahead and give me your answer real quick.
I'm gonna say Lorenzo Carter. I feel like he's gonna be a big impact. It's a guy that obviously we seen back when we were at the Carolina game that can come in big moments. With the way our defense has been lately, these past few seasons, we haven't had what we got now. So I feel like it's going to be a big part for him because he is that guy that can get the job done, obviously. I feel like he's going to have a lot more sacks, could be, interceptions like he had in the Carolina game. Could be certain things like that. I feel like it's going to be, so I'm going to go with Lorenzo on that.
Alberto, your thoughts?
Oof, man, for that one, I'm gonna go with somebody we acquired this past offseason, man. That's Jonnu Smith, man. I think Jonnu Smith is a player that is gonna find his footing like he had it with Arthur Smith back in Tennessee, man. He was lost in the shuffle with New England, and I think it's just the complexity of that New England offense that really hindered him making an impact. And if you go back to 2019 and 2020, his numbers are similar. It was way above 450 yards receiving both, but it's the way that Arthur Smith really utilized Jonnu Smith, man. He maximized the value of what he is as a player. Used him in the screen game, in the run game, as a wide receiver, as a slot receiver. I think he walking into the situation on hand now with the Falcons, adding so many weapons. Of course, we talk about Bijan, Scotty and Mac. Of course, Drake London, a returning Kyle Pitts. You kind of get the gist that he gets lost a little bit in the shuffle. Like, all right, where does Jonnu Smith fit in all of this?
Right.
But I think this is where Smith can really capitalize and utilize him how he was back in 2020, his last year. Oddly enough, their last year together, both in Tennessee. Bring that production over here to Atlanta, and I think sky's the limit for Jonnu. So I think that's my sleeper pick.
Thanks. I love it. Love to hear it because Jonnu Smith, not only is Jonnu Smith dynamic himself, but he's going to pull so much different coverage off of Kyle Pitts and all these other receivers like Scotty Miller to take off the top and a whole nother dynamic of the offense. But I would go across the board and I'd say linebacker at Troy Anderson. I think Troy Anderson's a guy that's going to pair well with a Caden Ellis, Michael Walker. Hopefully that part of the team can get it rolling because to me that's our weakest link, and I would love to see growth there. Another player that you could throw in the mix would be D. Alford. D. Alford's somebody that's battling for the nickel and Mike Hughes. So just something to watch there for training camp. Out of your Falcon mindset, Berto, what's up, my
happening?
brother?
What's going on, fellas?
Out of Your Falcon Mind says, interesting year for Michael Walker. We will find his stride in this scheme and expect him to be big on special teams. Facts.
Yeah,
He was like you said, he had the green dot last year, so that's something to watch.
I think they just put too much responsibility on him, man. I think he was used out of position really. In Fresno State, he was mainly used on the outside. He had, I think, 6 sacks in Fresno State totaling with his time. He only has 1 sack in the NFL.
Right.
That just doesn't make sense. I don't think Pease used him the way that he did. I think Pease fell in love with his athleticism or the twitchiness, which a lot of defensive coordinators like to call these athletic players, and just kind of took that ball and ran with it. But no, if Nielsen uses him in the correct fashion, which I believe is on the outside, I think we could see the best of Michael Walker going forward.
Right.
Agreed.
Heading on to another subject here. Matt Bergeron, a guy that I know that we're all pretty heavy on. I believe, Alberto, you've done a breakdown on Matt or something. Yeah. You've done a video or so on him. So somebody, Philip, give me your stats on Matt Bergeron. Is he a starter this year, or does Matt Hennessy secure that job?
All right, so he played 46 games of like 39 starts over, in Syracuse, and was named team captain in 2022, earning like certain awards.
As a junior, don't forget that was only a junior as a team captain.
And earned certain ACC awards over there in that department and stuff like that. And like, I don't know. As a freshman, he's played in all 12 games, so that's huge. As a freshman, that is huge. So
39 starts in college as well.
Yeah, I feel like he could bring some of that on over to Atlanta. What we've got going on now. I feel like he has the capability of starting, of course. So I feel like at that position, I'm taking him over. I'm taking him.
His run game itself is
it's just a blocking.
Phenomenal. He came out of college. Yeah, out of college, he knew how to get to that second level, take out the linebackers, and was definitely for his size somebody that knew how to use it to his advantage. So definitely a guy that I see starting. If Matt Hennessy does somehow pull out that job, Matt Hennessy is the veteran. He does have the veteran.
It is what it is.
So that's something to watch. Alberto, your thoughts on Matt Bergeron, and is he a starter or does Matt Hennessy secure that?
I believe in Matt Bergeron, and at the beginning I wasn't a fan of the pick because I hadn't had all the research done like I do now and stuff. So I was like, damn, Matt Bergeron. But you start hearing the rumblings. All right, the Saints wanted him, the Cowboys wanted him, and we all know the Cowboys are a O-line factory. Yep. So all things said, I was like, okay, let me look back and look at the tape. You just all you got to do is go back to the Senior Bowl. And how he was just stonewalling these NFL prospects, man. Great feet, can get to the second level, is going to be a mauler in the run game. He's 6'5", 324 pounds. All things mentioned, man. He's the odds-on favorite to win it. I think it's going to be a very interesting battle between Hennessy and Bergeron and Kyle Hinton, too. That's another name you got to throw in there. He has experience coming over from Minnesota. But, yeah, ultimately, I could see Matt Bergeron winning. I could definitely see Matt Bergeron winning that spot. If Henny does win, also wouldn't shock me because he already has, some years already within this Arthur Smith offense, the scheme of it all and stuff like that. But ultimately, man, I think it's Matt Bergeron's by default or by a landslide.
Facts. We'll just I got a little Adam will pull up a Matt Bergeron, some of what the combine stats were saying and what people that were, draft analysts were predicting Matt Bergeron. So just going to touch on that real quick. Let's see. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
All right. So Bergeron was prospect grade of 6.39. Will eventually be a plus starter. 6'5", 318, 33 3/4 in arm length. His hands 9.5. I don't know if people realize how huge that is, but this man's a monster. Just some of the stuff the analysts reviewed on him said his strengths were starting experience at both tackle spots, showed a strong desire to impose his will on the man across from him, run blocking technique. Run blocking technique is top notch across the board, fits into his target with his head up and his hips unlocked, kicks and caves. Some of his weaknesses was hand placement, pass protecting, punch swing. He allows a lot of a bull rush, just minor stuff that I think that can be taught to the next level. And also with Bergeron being moved to the guard spot is something that people have to look at because you're not going to bull rush a guard spot very often.
Right.
No, right.
Something to think about. Y'all's thoughts on Matt Bergeron? I mean, you already gave me pretty much. Y'all said he could be a starter, but just his. What do you think he brings to this run game? You know, Bijan. We talk about Bergeron had 1,000 yards with his college career game or career team. So what could Bijan do behind this left guard position? And with Matt Bergeron's pass blocking, is that going to be a problem for a young quarterback like Desmond Ridder? Just something to think about.
I don't, we're so run heavy that I don't really fear that aspect until we turn into if all of a sudden this year we turn into a pass first team, then that's a reason to concern. But we don't see that trajectory. We're going to continue on the path that we have been doing, is dominating the run game. So I don't feel bad on that aspect. We got a good coach in Dwayne Ledford too that is going to really hone in and fix a lot of what his deficiencies are. So I really don't buy it. I don't read into it too much as far as any struggles on Matt Bergeron's behalf or anything, man. I think the kid's going to be solid from day one. He's just gonna add so much physicality. Jake Matthews is gonna have a buddy finally, a consistent one, hopefully. You know what I mean? To have by his side, and who could benefit from this all too is Drew Dahlman in the center spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to have
Justin
a
Schaefer as well. That's going to just continue battling spots there for Justin Schaefer, a guy that we don't talk much about here. But carrying on to the next subject, a guy that we loved a lot on draft night last year, Arnold Ebiketie, year two for a guy that they called I think it was a sack master, Dr. Sack Master or something in college. So a guy that knows how to get to the quarterback, somebody that didn't do it too much this year sack-wise, but his pressure was definitely felt and his presence was in the pocket this year. He knows how to push it. Your thoughts, Philip, on AK in year two, and what is his goals, and does AK maybe get a starting position with all these new people we've signed, or is AK still that rotational guy in this Nilsson defense?
Okay, so I do see him still as the rotational guy, but I think, we're running so different schemes and stuff, so you don't never know who's, certain situations, you don't know who's going to be out there.
Right.
So, and then he's got some power. He's got some power. All right. Mm-hmm. Remember the clip I mentioned a couple weeks ago? He was just one-handed because he had that broke hand.
Yeah.
He was bullying through there. If he had both hands, he could have had the sack multiple times during that game. So I feel like he will have more sacks. Come on with having Calais Campbell, David Onyemata, of course, Grady Jarrett, Bud Dupree. Look, everybody, all these new additions. I feel like he will get these more sacks with a lot more help than what we did have last season. So I expect a little bit more than what, I ain't saying he did bad by no means, but, I'm expecting a little bit more than what we seen this previous season,
Facts. And as he should coming into year two, as anybody expects as your second round draft pick. You want to see that next leap. Alberto, your thoughts on that, and what's AK ceiling this year?
Yeah. I see him building off the 19 quarterback pressures he had last year, the 2.5 sack output. He had 2 forced fumbles. You could tell that the offseason has been his best friend. As we all saw from OTAs, he's bulked up, he's jacked up, he's put on some weight. That's going to be interesting to see how he translate that newfound power, so to say, into his rushing attack. So I look for Nielsen to put him in the right positions. I agree with the young man here, Philip, that he's going to be a rotational guy still. We've added so many veteran pieces with Bud Dupree, Calais Campbell and such that, they're going to get creative in finding a way to best use his attributes. And I think using him in that aspect will help him. We'll just help him tremendously, man.
Right. Very true. And I mean, y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head. There's not much to add to that. I agree 100%. AK is going to still be that rotational guy. It's what Ryan Nielsen runs anyway. It's not no disrespect to AK. It's just how he runs his defense. And I do see AK getting more sacks with a Campbell, Onyemata, a Grady, finally getting some help.
Eddie Goldman,
that's a name too to look out. That's a guy that's really, I think, that's going to be fighting for a spot to make the roster, just because he had a couple years off. Like I said, that's a whole nother show, a whole new episode, but that's something to talk about later in the future. Heading on to the chat here, we got a couple people in the comment section. Let's see. Out of your Falcon mindset, fellas, about to go sweat my ass off. A long toss with the kid. We'll catch the rest of the show later. Keep killing it, guys. Appreciate you stopping by, bro. We appreciate the view and the love in the comments. Shout out to Marcus Boyd, always tuning in. Marcus Boyd, he said, "What's up, gentlemen? What's good, Marcus?"
What's up, bro?
Everybody that's here, if you haven't already, drop a 1 in the chat. If you want to be entered in the live raffle, we're gonna do a
Tell your friends.
bucket hat or either a cap. Gonna get some signatures on it for you. Just trying to get people to come over to the stream, check us out. If you haven't already, share it with a friend. Gonna throw a quick W ad up real quick. Stay tuned. Shout out to W. W is our first ever sponsor, so we're excited about W being here. We don't get much from W, but we do get our own discount code. So if you have the chance, check us out. That's Dirty Birds, all caps with an S. Anything you buy, you get 10% off, and we get like a small 2-3% that comes here to the channel. So greatly appreciated. Philip, chat just went crazy, bro. I'm like 16 things over here. I got 2s, 1s, 3s. I think somebody just messing with me in the chat, but shout out everybody that's in the chat. Everybody that's checking us out. Real quick, we're going to touch here. This is kind of a touchy question. I mean, it's hard to even save because the season hasn't started. But this year's team, man, are we playoff contenders? Are we just a team that makes it above 500? Or are we that Super Bowl team? Is this the year?
I'm gonna say playoff right off the rip, man. Right off the rip. You cannot say that we're not gonna make the playoffs. I mean, for all the years that we've been in the dark, it's been like 5 or 6 years since we did anything significant. You got to go back to 2017, if I'm not mistaken, man. Fast forward to now, man. Arthur Smith and Terry have reshaped and retooled this team like unbelievably so, man. We've been in cap hell for the past couple years. Lo and behold, this year, things were in the green, and we opened up the wallet. We brought in so many key pieces to this team, both offensively and defensively. Got a great coaching staff on the defensive side now, with Jerry Gray, Ryan Nielsen, Steven Alexander, I think it was part of the secondary. An underrated one, too, man. Dave Huxtable coming over from Alabama to help Ryan Nielsen or oversee Ryan Nielsen do his defensive duties now. But, man, we're going to make the playoffs. I'm 100% confident that we're going to make the playoffs, man. Right. We're catching the NFC and as a whole in such a different in a shift that, and also not to mention the NFC South too is in a flux, man. We were the only team to have more additions than subtractions, while everybody else was shuffling and adding last minute pieces. So I think that we could definitely take advantage of all things said and make a nice little run. And if anything, as far as the run is mentioned, if we catch fire like we did in 2016 around December, we went on a roll, and you saw what happened from there. So it's not out of the question in my eyes, man.
Right. Philip, your thoughts on that, and then I'll feed some comments off of what I think.
I gotta agree with Alberto here. I'm not gonna just necessarily say, oh, we're that Super Bowl bound team. No,
not yet.
I'm gonna wait for that. I want to see how we do during the season. With all these new things coming in. Mm-hmm. And like he said, if we catch fire, I do see playoffs. If we do catch fire, I do see we could possibly get there. Then you can say, hey, we can make that. And because it's never guaranteed. So I'm gonna just put that. If we get there at that point and get past, like say the first round and stuff, and you see who you're up against in the bracket and everything, then you be like, hey, we can get there. Maybe we can get there.
It's all about when your team gets hot, what time of the year your team gets hot, and really, I think the bye week plays in a major role of teams making a deep playoff push, and we are one of the teams this year that have a pretty decent bye. I don't think it's right after London, but it's part of the season that we're going to need that break. And 2016 was a year that we had a nice bye week, so something to look at there. We're going to head to the chat real quick. Chat, if you're viewing right now, drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this year. Are we a playoff team? Are we 500 and above? Just to add a little bit to that question. I will say we are a playoff team, and we're definitely NFC South leaders this year. Is what I see. Anything less, I will be disappointed. Heading to the chat here. Marcus Boyd says playoffs or bust.
Oh,
for you
man.
there.
Strong statement, man.
Dylan says we definitely playoff bound. The NFC South is ours for taking. I truly believe that, Marcus.
I agree.
Me too, man. Agree with
Something
that,
that we
man.
could do. Kiki in the chat, she said, definitely not scared of those Bucks, those players, and are crying for Brady to come back. Facts.
They are relevant
I saw
now.
that today, man. I saw that report today. I'm like, come on, man, really?
That quarterback battle there is something else.
They desperate, man. They desperate. They down bad.
11-6.
They down bad.
Let's see. If Bijan is anything like Freeman during that Super Bowl run, heads are going to roll.
I don't see.
Bijan make the block. Bijan make the block. That's all I need.
Will definitely.
Yeah.
Just something here to talk about real quick before we get ready to close the show. Julio retirement. Is this something that could happen? Is this something? This is just something that we came across today on social media. You know, they like to talk about anything. Julio Jones would officially be eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2028 if he chooses to retire this year. Jones was arguably the best receiver in the past decade had to offer. Jones had more receptions, 903, than Steven Largent, Michael Irvin, and Calvin Johnson. The stats continue to go on. I could read all day on Julio Jones stats. Philip, your thoughts on Julio Jones? What he done here in the A? Is it enough to make the Hall of Fame? Is he a guy that will make the Ring of Honor as an Atlanta Falcon? Number 11 will possibly be retired in Atlanta. Your thoughts, Philip? What do you think?
Definitely. It did end not so great, with some fans, but we just can't overlook the fact that the man just balled out for us for how long? What was it like?
Oh wow.
Yeah, my man, he lit like it was just pure skill. It was like something not even seen by many players. He was like our generational TO, it was just certain things that he did. Like the Carolina game where he dropped, what was it? 300 yards, 300 yards, 300-yard game. It was just certain things like that. The Super Bowl run, even the Super Bowl catch, that most catches like that, it's just pure luck. His was just straight skill and honestly put us in a situation to win it. But
he did.
That's besides the point. But like just certain things like that, his skill set is just his smarts and the things he done for our team to win there in that area. It was just in my opinion, he deserves that Hall of Fame.
Facts. Alberto, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, he's my GOAT for this era, man. I mean, everybody's been able to see Jerry Rice and so many other Chris Carters and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I had the privilege of watching Julio Jones, man, and that's what I know. Julio and Megatron. But edge goes to Julio, man, what he has meant to the organization, the memories, the games, the impact, you name it. You can go back to 2012 playoff game against the 49ers. It was like the here I am moment to the NFL, you know what I mean? As dominating as that performance was against the 49ers. And then, from there, everything just fell into place. If Julio Jones decides to retire, call it quits, he's got to be mentioned as a first ballot, man.
Yeah,
it has to be. And all things mentioned, Ring of Honor, retired jersey, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
No doubt.
He was very instrumental.
Yeah, Julio Jones is somebody that definitely put a print on this NFL franchise that'll go down as a Falcon great in NFL history. Stats that will not be broken, stats that will be close to broken, but somebody that plays like Julio Jones is definitely top caliber for a Ring of Honor, retirement of a jersey, and Hall of Fame. Headed to the chat real quick. Marcus Boyd said, Marcus Boyd said, what he accomplished in the ATL is noteworthy, but his playing years are approaching at an end. I could agree, Marcus. Julio's definitely put his best years out on the field, and maybe it is time to call it quits. Caleb here in the chat said, rise up, Caleb. Rise up, brother. Rise up to everybody that checked us out tonight. Anybody that tuned in.
Drop your ones.
Drop the like, drop a share. If you haven't hit that sub, hit that sub. We're at 148. Bowdy hit 150. Shout out to my man Berto. We got a celebrity here with us today.
Come on.
Above 1K on YouTube. Shout out to Berto.
Man, thank you, man.
Shout out to Berto.
Appreciate
anybody
that,
that's here, check Berto out. Berto, let these people know where they can find you, your social, all that.
Yeah, so on the Twitter, I'm under RI Falcons, and the YouTube platform is 95 North Falcons Talk Show. As Chase just mentioned, yes, I just went over the 1K, was surpassed the 1K just a day ago, man. So it's been an unbelievable journey to get to this to that feat. But I'm glad I made it with a lot of support and a lot of collaborations along the way. I hope to make some future collabs with many more content creators out there. I will be doing a live shortly or soon. Just getting on the air and really, showing my appreciation to everybody that has helped me along the way. You gentlemen are definitely welcome to come on. So look out for that link. I'll be providing that through
Yes,
Twitter.
sir. Yes, sir. You already know. If y'all heard the man. If you haven't checked him out, go ahead and do so.
Do
Check
it
him out
now.
on Twitter, Facebook, all that mess. Alberto's on it, and he's doing it big time, man. I'm
Appreciate
proud
it,
for you, Alberto, man.
Thank you, man.
1K is a goal, and we're
Yeah.
just starting out over here. We're on episode 8 at almost at
That's
150.
awesome. Hey.
So we're pretty excited about that. Berto, man,
it,
once again, dog, I want to thank you for coming by, dropping knowledge. Anytime
doubt.
we get the chance to have you
Of
on,
course.
we got to get Smitty on with you next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Smitty's a knowledgeable guy himself. So shout out to Smitty. Shout out to One Time for the fans. Shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind, all these great content creators. Alberto, we thank you, bro. Second special guest on the show, man.
Appreciate it. What an honor, man. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
John, before I part ways, man, just keep grinding, keep doing, keep pushing the content, man. Keep delivering. Y'all are successful already, man.
Yes, sir.
Got a sponsorship going, man. So, man, God bless the platform and you both. And definitely, man, anytime you need anything from me, man, I'm a phone call and a DM away.
Always,
I'm here.
always.
100%. All right, folks. Be
Berto,
good, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Peace, man.
Man, shout out to Berto. I met Berto through this social media, through the podcast, through One Time for the Fan, man. This is all about making family, making friends, and Berto's a perfect example of that. Berto's a great guy, and we're definitely excited that we were able to have him on here to talk some Falcon football. We got some more ones in the chat here. I don't know why Dylan is on a guy named Austin Cersei's YouTube, but this is Dylan Cravey, our other brother. So he put a one in the chat. Shout out to Dylan.
Throw up your words, baby.
Dylan says, show the ball, Philip. Throw the ball, show him the ball real quick. Marcus Boyd said he will be like Troy Polamalu, the Steelers' first round Hall of Fame. Shout out to Marcus, man. Marcus stays in the chat. Shout out to everybody that viewed us tonight. We're getting ready to wrap this thing up tonight. We appreciate everybody that stopped by, everybody that's dropped a sub in the last week or two, everybody that is sub. Shout out to y'all. Help us get to 150. Share the news. Philip, any shout outs?
Shout out to Berto for the show tonight. I enjoyed that. Shout out to everybody in the chat, even though some people just playing around, you know what I mean? But shout out to the chat, hey man, and everybody else that's watching this outdoor. Shout out to y'all. Comment your ones, get in there for the the raffle. We're gonna try to get more signatures like this on the ball, like certain names, big names on it, and such things like that.
Hey, the hat will be just like it, bro. We're gonna get a hat. If it's a black hat with a silver marker, we're gonna hook whoever wins this raffle is gonna get a nice one. So Dylan says, make me a special guest next week. Sheesh, you got to get your own YouTube account first, bro. Anyway, heading on, I want to appreciate everybody that stopped by, man. This is Dirty Fanatics United getting ready to close this thing out. Everybody that's joined along through the journey, we appreciate y'all. Everybody that's watched this whole show. Share, like, comment, hit that subscribe.
Tell your friends.
A-Town down.
A-Town down, baby.